Today we'll be going over a new report that could affect both Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch in major ways, as well as an update to Renee Young's huge announcement that went viral online. We'll be taking a look at both of these stories, so let's get into it. So obviously, WWE has been dealing with an outbreak issue at the Performance Center lately, and they've been trying to keep things under control. WWE has reportedly released an update statement to its talent on what it's changing and what will be required for them at the Performance Center from this point on. Here's what they had to say. As a reminder, wearing masks, sanitizing, and social distancing will be required at the Performance Center this week and going forward. You'll be required to wear a mask upon entering, and we ask that you adhere to these requirements in order to minimize risk. However, even with all these changes, we're starting to see more and more superstars considering to take the Roman Reigns route and just sit out for a while. Kevin Owens was the latest big superstar to sit out for a few tapings. He released a video on social media revealing that unfortunate news that they had lost a family member due to the illness. So it's clear that he wasn't taking the risk any longer. New reports claim that a lot of superstars are currently on the fence about sitting out, similar to Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and a few others. But these smaller superstars are waiting for the locker room leaders to lead the way and be the first to walk out. One of the superstars that is reportedly feeling the pressure from the other superstars to lead the walkout is Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has been on the main roster for over 8 years now and has really turned into this huge locker room leader for the other superstars. So the reports claim that a lot of superstars are looking to Seth Rollins on what they should all do from here. Seth Rollins also had a very good case to sit out. Of course, with the current status of the Performance Center, this is horrible news for Becky Lynch and her health. Seth Rollins is at the Performance Center. He's at these tapings. Then he goes home to a pregnant Becky Lynch. You just never know, and it could be seen as a big risk for Becky Lynch's health and pregnancy. Just a horrible risk to take. So if Seth was to decide to sit out, he'll have the support of the superstars and the fans because we all know the bigger picture, and that's the fact that he would be protecting Becky Lynch. It's not like Seth Rollins would be sitting out just to sit out. He would be sitting out to protect someone that's pregnant, which is the same reason that Roman left when he did as well. Roman was protecting his pregnant wife and feared bringing something home to his family. So Seth Rollins would have the same case as Roman. However, it doesn't look like that's Seth's plan and mentality right now. Despite the pressure from other superstars and Becky Lynch at home, it doesn't look like Seth Rollins is going anywhere. Rumor has it that Seth will be staying put and will be continuing to take part in the tapings. Seth is currently in a huge program with Rey Mysterio and Dominic, so it seems like this storyline will be continuing since Seth won't be sitting out. This storyline between Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins has been getting a lot of airtime recently, so it's possible that Seth doesn't want to walk away right at the climax of this Raw storyline. That could play a role in why Seth is choosing to stay put at the tapings. In all fairness, the tapings seem to be a bit more safe with the newly changed rules of requiring testing and face mask upon entry to the building. It's way more safe than it was before June, but you just never know. It's still a big risk for Seth and Becky no matter what changes are made at the Performance Center. This also brings up the question about what the other WWE superstars will do next if one of their locker room leaders, Seth Rollins, isn't going anywhere. Do they decide to make the decision themselves and just sit out of the tapings if they don't feel safe? Or do they wait for another big locker room leader to sit out first? One thing we do know for sure is that there's still so much talent missing from both Raw and SmackDown. WWE has even resorted to airing replays of old matches during episodes of Raw and SmackDown. This is something WWE did quite a lot during the very start of the Performance Center shows back in March. In order to fill out the shows without having to film much new material, WWE just aired some old matches every week just to fill out the show. Although some fans have liked the replays of the old matches during Raw and SmackDown, it was clear that the bigger majority of fans were not fans of the replays. Ratings completely dipped during these replays. It's clear that most of the fans are not interested in seeing replays of matches they just saw a few months ago. Thankfully, WWE stopped the replays for a while, but due to some superstars being home and possibly sitting out like this whole Seth Rollins rumor, it has caused WWE to go back to the replays in order to fill out the shows once again. WWE brought back the replays with the airing of the Boneyard match, and rumor has it they will be airing Braun Strowman vs. Bray Wyatt from Money in the Bank on an upcoming edition of SmackDown as well. We know that Bray and Braun have been filming their cinematic match over the past few weeks, so maybe they just can't make it to SmackDown to continue their story and film some segments. But seeing another replay here is a little bit disappointing, especially a replay of a match we just saw on the WWE Network a few weeks ago. But it looks like that's just the circumstances WWE is dealing with at the moment. They don't have much of a choice, so we just have to accept it. It really seems like some WWE superstars are starting to wonder if they should just sit out like some of the other talent. But like the report claims, it's rumored that the smaller superstars are looking up to the bigger locker room leaders and just following whatever they do. So if these locker room leaders stay, then the other superstars are more likely going to stay. But if the leaders leave and sit out, it's possible that some superstars will follow in those footsteps as well. But like we said before, WWE does seem to be cracking down hard at the Performance Center. So it's safe to say that it's a much safer working environment than it was 2 to 3 weeks ago, for sure. It'll be interesting to see what happens with them as well from this point on, so we'll keep an eye out for any updates to this walkout story. Real quick, if you enjoy what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. A large amount of our viewers still aren't subscribed to the channel, so click that button so you won't miss any new videos. Let's get back into the story. Our next story will be going over Renee Young and her huge announcement. Renee Young was one of the superstars that unfortunately tested positive, but Renee has been keeping her spirits up and teasing a major announcement on her Instagram page. Renee teased the announcement a few days in advance in order to generate hype, and it actually worked a lot. Everyone was speculating about Renee's announcement, and it was being built up as this really huge announcement, and the fans were definitely hyped for it. Renee Young posted this comment on her Instagram page. "Finally, it's here, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. I wrote a cookbook. I finally handed over my manuscript today. Been writing and cooking for 3 months, and I couldn't be more excited for the rest of this process to get this book to you lovely people." Renee Young posted this short announcement video on her Instagram page as well.
All right, guys, today is finally the day. It is July 1st. I have been teasing online that I have a big, fat, fancy announcement to make. And what July 1st was for me was the date that I had to hand in my manuscript because I wrote a cookbook. I did it. I've been manifesting this for literally years. I've been talking about this for years. I've been eating for a very long time, but I did it. I'm super, super proud of it. I've obviously never written a book before, so hopefully it's not terrible, but I feel great about it. There's gonna be over 70 recipes. We've got breakfast, snacks, cocktails, mains, sandwiches, kind of everything you could think of. It's all in here. And the fun thing with this cookbook too is that there's a playlist that comes with it. So you guys know that I'm a huge music junkie, and I would like to give you guys a little bit of that, you know, kind of set the mood for when you're having people over to the house and whining and dining and maybe having a romantic dinner. I don't know. I'm just here to provide the goods. So I've been working with McGregor and Ledecky Literary Agency and Post Hill Press. These are the brave people that have taken a chance on me to help me write this cookbook. So that's pretty much all of the information that I have for you guys right now. I mean, once more information comes about of when it's going to be released, even the name of it, I'm honestly sort of still tossing stuff up in the air. I'm leaning towards Holy Bleep. That's good. But we'll see if that makes the cut or not. But yeah, it's gonna be great. And you guys can find great meals like this fettuccine alfredo. I'm just kidding. This isn't in the cookbook. I ordered it in, so I'm not allowed to leave the house. Cookbook, guys.
This has been something that Renee has been working on over the last 3 months, and it seems like it's getting close to being released. So we'll have to see what Renee Young does next with her book. But it really is a big accomplishment, and we hope Renee Young's book sees a lot of success. What are your thoughts on the rumors of some superstars wanting Seth Rollins to lead a walkout? And what do you think of Renee Young's huge announcement? Leave your comments, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.